Hello everybody and welcome to the PDL, which is going to be the next Pokemon Draft League that I'm going to be partaking in. And now this is going to be a little bit of a less professional Draft League analysis video for you guys. Unfortunately, we have Hurricane Milton on the incoming the next couple days, and I got to make sure that everything's going to be okay at home to make sure that I'm completely safe for when Hurricane Milton actually arrives. This also means that this Draft League analysis video might be a little bit delayed in comparison to everyone else's videos. That is probably more than likely because I do not have any power, but hopefully you guys see this on the day that it's supposed to be up. Now we're going to quickly jump into this because I know that no music is a little eerie. This is again going to be a little bit unprofessional, but let's kick right off into the team. This is roughly what the team's going to be like for the majority of this season. It is a rain focused team with grassy terrain support from Rillaboom, and I am actually really excited to use a lot of the members on this team. I do expect to make some changes for sure in the coming weeks, but this is going to definitely be the team that you guys will see in the first week of the PDL. I do want to apologize just one more time. Unfortunately, yeah, I get it. This is going to be a little bit unprofessional, but I do hope you guys still enjoy, and I hope you guys are excited for the team that you're going to be seeing here. I mean, to just kick it right off, we do have our first round one pick that was our Terra Captain. This is a Manaphy set that I just picked up off of Smogon just to show you roughly what the idea is for some of the Terra types. Now, the idea is obviously you have one stab type for your Terra Captain, and then you have two non-stab typings, or I guess they can still be stab typings, but we have two other two other typings, including Stellar, that can be possible for our Terra Captains, of which they had to be in a certain budget range, in which case you can see that I clearly have two. This is first, obviously, we have the stab type, which is Water Manaphy. I mean, it's going to be great for wall breaking. Alongside Rain, if we can get a tail glow up, obviously Manaphy is going to be crazy strong into a majority of Pokemon. I can only imagine stuff like Hisuian and Gudra really being able to tank on really powerful hits from Manaphy like that. And then obviously that's like a one-off thing that, isn't necessarily, I mean, I definitely will not be fighting Hisuian and Gudra every single time. And even if I do face Hisuian and Gudra, I do have ways to get around it, despite, obviously I think Terra Water is going to be super fun to use a majority of the time. I really love really strong wall breakers, and Tail Glow Manaphy is exactly one of them. And so I'm super excited about using Manaphy. Manaphy was my round one pick for a reason. I'm hoping it's the next Como for me at least, which I just think would be so sick if I can manage to do that. I did think it was free Terra before the league started, and then I didn't realize that till a little bit later. So unfortunately, Manaphy isn't the free Terra that I was hoping it would be, but I am still super excited about using Manaphy, and having a Terra Captain is absolutely insane. For Manaphy, I do wish it had Take Heart as well. It doesn't have Take Heart, which is banned, but it's banned for a reason. It's a very powerful tool that Manaphy gets, and it just makes it impossible to break through sometimes. And so that's going to be the first Terra type for Manaphy. We do have two others. The non-Terra types will be Fairy and Poison. Fairy is also good for a setup-based set if you just need a more bulky set. It's not really about the wall-breaking potential, but it's definitely still a super strong typing that does boost up my alluring voices, which makes it easier for it to take down dragons, which my team can definitely struggle to deal with, being that I have a very rain focused team. So I do like Terra Fairy a lot, and we also have Terra Poison, which is really good for a full-on setup set. I do have Take Heart on this set, which I probably should have removed for the case of the video to avoid any confusion, being that obviously Take Heart is banned in this league. It would be Calm Mind in that slot more often than not, but being Poison does mean that obviously I wouldn't be able to be affected by Toxic, except for a Corrosion Salazzle would be the only thing that would be able to poison a Terra Poison Manaphy, and that means that Take Heart probably won't be as huge as needed. But if it did have Take Heart, it would be great to avoid stuff like Thunder Waves and the like. I don't think Take Heart honestly should be banned. It's very easy to deal with Manaphy because it is kind of slow. It has respectable bulk, but it's not anything crazy, and its offenses aren't insane until it gets that tail glow up. So I do think Take Heart is maybe a little unnecessary to ban, but it's banned nonetheless. And so this would be roughly what the set would look like if there was a Terra Poison set. For that type of setup thing would be Calm Mind, Acid Armor, Scald, and Stored Power, something like that, which is the main reason that I drafted Poison, so I could avoid Toxics and the like, so I can really focus on a very bulky Manaphy set. We also have obviously the Grassy Surge Rillaboom. This is great for weakening Earthquakes, which my team can kind of struggle with. I don't really have a great resist. Ribombee is one, but it's not really because it is a bug. And I mean, it's very frail. And then we do have Manaphy and Pelipper, which are great ground resists, but Pelipper is a very common type of, the water is a very common type on my team, so I don't really want to do that if I'm coming into like a ground type with an electric type move. Obviously that won't work super well. And then Mesprit is more of a support mon anyways, so if I were to switch into a ground type, chances are it's probably because I'm trying to get like rocks up or something like that, which I do think is where Mesprit's role is mostly going to be on this team. We do have also our Chaladon, which is obviously just great for rain support, and obviously I have a rain team with Pelipper. Electric Shot is just such an insane move. I actually still cannot believe that they made this move real. I mean, it's like, what is it? Like base 140 power electric type move that like, I don't understand how they passed this move. It's just stab thunder, but stronger. And guaranteed to hit. Like, this is an insane move. I actually don't have any idea how they managed to pass this. But they did it either way, and I'm so excited to use it. Pelipper is obviously there for the drizzle support. That's basically what it's always going to be here for, but it's just a good mon in general. Very bulky defensive mon. Good ground resist for the team. Knockoff is insane to have on a team like this, where obviously I don't want Pokemon, switching into Manaphy with Assault Vests and stuff like that. Like, I want to remove as many items as I can. It would be great for the next Pokemon, which is Glimmora, to remove heavy duty boots, because this is obviously a very hazard focused Pokemon a lot of the time. I mean, Stealth Rock, Toxic Debris, Toxic Spikes, it could just set up manually. It can set up spikes just manually as well. Like, it's a very focused hazard mon, but it can also be a great offensive mon as well, which is what this set would mostly be. Plus, Mortal Spin is great hazard control if needed. Like, it's going to be able to break through the steel types, which don't actually have a great matchup into me in general. Like, they're not a great resist to anything other than Ribombee, which is the next mon that I'd have, which is good for sticky web support mainly because Manaphy is a slower mon. I mean, it's not super slow. It's base 100 speed, which is very like good middle of the road speed. But if I can get sticky webs up, then it's going to be able to outspeed much faster mons. That was very, very huge for this team, being that my fastest mons are Ribombee, which is only really speed support, Barraskewda, which can be very strong, but isn't the greatest outside of rain, and Grafaiai, which is going to be my next Terra Captain. But first, let's talk about Barraskewda. This is literally just a Swift Swim mon for my team. So Liquidation, Flip Turn, and Aqua Jet can be boosted by the Choice Band and the rain, and I can be twice as fast, being the fastest Pokemon really in the metagame. I mean, it's just a crazy mon for in rain. Like, I could go Floatzel as well, but Floatzel was probably just like a little bit too slow outside of rain for my liking, and that's why I really settled on Barraskewda. For my next form of like fast speed control, we got Grafaiai, which has Prankster, which is the main reason I actually made it a Terra Captain. Despite it, it obviously does have Unburden, which pairs super well with Rillaboom. But being able to terrestrialize into really any of these types with Prankster would mean that, like, if I can go Terra Ghost, then I can avoid Rapid Spins and like for obviously Spinners, and then that can help out with Glimmora setting up its hazards. We can do funny stuff like this, which is Dig, Copycat, Parting Shot, and Encore with a Lacking Tail. I mean, that's just kind of evil, to be honest, but it's a really funny set that I'm kind of hoping I can try and do one time in this season, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to. We got a Swords Dance, Double Edge, Knockoff, and Copycat, Grafaiai. Like, we can do crazy stuff. Terra Normal Double Edge is an absolute nuke from this Pokemon, despite its lower 95 base attack stat, especially if like we can use normal gems and the like from that. I mean, that's Grafaiai just seems like a really fun Terra Captain alongside the Grassy Surge with the Prankster. I love Grafaiai. It's one of the Pokemon that I think probably second highest on the list of Pokemon that I wanted to use on this team, behind Manaphy, is Grafaiai. We do have the Mesprit, which I covered on a little bit earlier, it's definitely going to be a more support-based Pokemon, I think, from this team. But this is obviously a more offensive set here. But it has Knockoff, Healing Wish. It can pivot out with U-Turn. It has Psychic Noise, which stop healing. Like, it does a lot of really good stuff that I'm super excited to be able to use from. Obviously, if you caught my WPF season, this was a Pokemon that I wanted to turn into my Terra Captain last season, but I don't think it pairs super well with this team, with that role. So definitely not a Terra Captain this season, unfortunately. But hopefully, in the future, I can definitely see myself trying to pick up a Mesprit and use it. And then this was actually a Pokemon that I did not choose myself. We were going through the last hurricane, Helena, something like that, which is a little bit of a weaker storm. So that one wasn't as big on me, but this was actually a Pokemon that was chosen by Nova, who I'm actually super excited to use Gumshoes, because its abilities are insane. It gets like Stakeout, Strong Jaw, and Adaptability. Like, it does crazy stuff. And Stakeout from a Pokemon like Gumshoes with really, really high attack stat makes me super excited, because if I can come in on something that like isn't expected to kill Gumshoes in one try and is very threatened out, like think of like Slowbro or something like that, then I can just nail it with like a Body Slam or something, which would probably could 2-hit KO Slowbro if I was Adaptability, and then like from Stakeout and it switches out to like, I don't know, something like Dondozo would get chunked by a Stakeout boosted Body Slam, especially from a Choice Band. Like, this is a Pokemon that I'm super excited to use. I don't think it's good by any means, but it's just a Pokemon that's like, to me, seems super duper fun. And I mean, that's generally going to be the team. We're going to cut back over to the slide, which I do have something that was made for me, which was super, super kind of them. Excuse me if I don't remember their name. I believe it was Reality from the Discord server, which will be in the link below. If you do, feel free to join, and support me in this league. But to pivot right over, ignore the no music. This shouldn't take much longer, but this is going to be the finale of the team. Terra Captain, Manaphy, and Grafai, I am super excited for. And then the rest of the team, I think, supports the Terra Captains relatively well. Pelipper obviously is the big one. Rillaboom helps out a decent amount with Grafai. Those are really two support. Archaladon is another big threat on my team that I'm super excited to use. It's a Pokemon that I'm always looking at on draft leagues, but never really get to draft itself. It was unfortunately like a fourth pick option. I wanted other dragon types to pair with Manaphy, but they all got taken like literally right before my round 2 pick, which is super unfortunate. But that's why I did settle on Rillaboom Archaladon instead, which is a decent pairing because Archaladon doesn't exactly appreciate earthquakes, and Grassy Surge definitely weakens those. So this is going to be the finale of the team. I'm not going to hold you guys here much longer because the silence is very awkward to talk over. I hope you guys do support me in the rest of the season, and I will see you guys in the week 1 battle versus Mr. TJP, and I will see you guys all then. Bye-bye.